need is an MSR 605. So this writes and reads on the mag strip. So if you don't know what the mag strip is, I have a little picture right here. It's the black stripe on the back of the card. That is what this reads and writes on. You're gonna need this to edit the mag strip. And yeah, this is the most expensive item, 82, 85 bucks. So next, the Omni key. So the Omni key is really cheap. It's only 14 bucks. This is the one I have personally. I recommend you get this one because it just works fine. But if you can buy this one, get this one. If you can't, if it's like off sale or something, you can still get another one, but I recommend you get this one. The Omni key is using like 90% of the process of cloning. Everything I'm showing you guys, you're gonna need. And the last thing you need is J2A040 blanks. You need the blanks to put in the Omni key. You need the blanks to put in the MSRX. You know, you need them, right? So you see these come in 1, 3, 5 pack. You can reuse blanks. So if you're really trying to get started with the least amount of money spent as possible, you can just get a 1 pack. But if you have the money, I recommend you get like a 3 or 5 pack just to have extra ones lying around. It helps out a little bit. But before I finish talking about the cards, there are certain things that you need to make sure it says in the title and description to make sure the card is right for what we're trying to do, right? So you need to make sure the card says J2A040. You need to make sure it says 2-track. You need to make sure it says HiCo, and you need to make sure it says unfused, which it says it down here, right? You need to make sure it says all of that or it won't work for what we're doing. A lot of people buy the wrong cards and they're gonna have to wait even longer just because they bought the wrong cards and they gotta order the right ones after, so you're just losing money. But yeah, these were the 3 things you need for the hardware. Now I'm gonna go into the software you need. So I'm back on my desktop and you see I got all the software you need right here. The software you need is ATR, CardPeek, JCOP, X2, MSRX, and ARQC. These are the 6 main pieces of software you need. So these 2 right here, they're just alternatives to the 6 main softwares you need. So these 2 I won't get into on this video, but I have a full cloning tutorial. Just check out my Telegram, that's all in there. I'm not gonna go into each and every software because the video will just get way too long. And you know we're on YouTube, so I can't really show you guys everything on YouTube, but I am going to show you guys the main piece of software, which is X2. So before I start showing you guys how to use it, there's a bunch of different X2s. There's X2 2021, X2 2020, there's a bunch of different ones, and there's also fake ones, so I just want to make sure you guys don't get fake ones. So yeah, I'm going to get into it. So the first step when you open X2 is ENV, right? So you see all this, you're like, what is going on? So basically, I got a fake dump here, and if you don't know what a dump is, it's basically the CC info, which comes to track 2, track 1 in a pin, and you would copy it onto X2 so you can burn it onto your blank, right? And X2 uses the Omni key, so right now my Omni key would have a blank in it, and you would burn it onto the blank, right? So what I need to do with this fake dump is copy all this onto X2. Dumps usually come also with a track 1, but just for time's sake of the video, I'm only going to go over and act like I only had track 2. So the first thing you see here says track 2. I'd copy and paste this and put it in there, and I'd max it out with 0. So I just spam zeros until it won't let me. See, I'm clicking and there's no more zeros. That's when it's good, right? For the cardholder's name, usually the cardholder's name would show up in track 1, but since I'm acting like it's just to save time, I'm gonna just click space and erase. And if you actually get a dump, just to let y'all know, if you actually get a dump with only track 2, because track 1 isn't necessary to clone a dump, just to let y'all know. Next is application label. So this is where bin checking comes in. So if you don't know what your bin is, it's actually the first 6 numbers, which is also your IST number. So now I'm on a bin checker website. I'd copy the first 6 digits of my track and I put it in here and click check, right? And it gives me all this information. It tells me it's a credit, it tells me it's Bank of America, it tells me it's USA. That's all we need to know. Visa, credit, USA, right? We go back to X2 and what we put in here is a Visa credit, right? If it was a Visa debit, I'd put Visa debit, and if it was a MasterCard, I'd put debit MasterCard. It'd be backwards, right? So for this one, it's a Visa credit, so that is all we need to put, and we've done the application label. Next, we go to credit down here, and we choose MasterCard, Visa, or Amex, and we choose Visa since this is a Visa. And for the track 1 discretion data, usually you put a track 1 in here, but since we don't have one, you would just delete everything and click space and you're good. For the writer, we choose the Omni key. Now for the AID, if you don't know what the AID is, 31010 is a Visa, 41010 is a MasterCard, right? So 31010 is what we put here for the Visa, since it's a Visa. And for the country code, since I'm in the USA, it's 0840. That is the USA country code. If you don't know the country code for your country, you can search up online. I also have a list in my Discord that goes over all the country codes. And next, the currency. The currency code is always the same as the country code, so you put 0840 in there too. And you saw it in the fake dump. We have a pin 3665. We put that in there, and we just did all of that quickly, right? Cloning is a fast process. People think it takes a long time, but it really doesn't. Next, we're gonna go down here to effective and expiration date. I'm gonna click the expiration date, delete everything, and this is how you find the expiration date of your dump, right? So you go back to your little track 2, and you find these 4 numbers after the equal sign, right? These 4 numbers. That is your expiration date. 2024 April, right? That's your expiration date. So what you put here is 2404, and then for the last 2 digits, you would put how many days are in that month. So I know April is 30 days, and that is how we put our expiration date. Then we go to effective date. We put the same thing, 240430, and we get rid of 4 years. So you would just apply whatever expiration date your dump has to here, and you'll be fine, right? So we just completely did the EMV part of cloning a dump, right? So if I click credit, it would burn onto the card. Just give it a second, boom, completed job. So I just successfully cloned the dump, but there is one more step. I'm not going to completely get into it because the video will just get way too long, but I'm going to skim through it real quick. IST load, you'll basically just put everything in here the same. These 3 ARQCs is what this software handles. You would just generate it in this software and put it in X2, and then you would burn it onto the card, right? I'm going to show y'all what an IST is. So 404773, that is our bin, but that is also our IST. We need an IST to match our bin to burn it onto the card, right? So if you don't have ISTs, you can hit me up. I have an IST pack of all USA ISTs. It's a bunch of them. But I'd click open and I'd find my IST file. So I already have a bunch. I already have 414773. So I'd double click and boom, I put it in there, and I'd put all the stuff in here and I'd burn it, right? That is how you use the IST. The only hard part is getting the IST files, but if y'all need them, I got you. After that, you could close X2. You would go in CardPeek and check all your work. CardPeek will show you if you did everything right. So yeah, that is the main part of cloning a dump. I just showed y'all all that for free. No one's really putting y'all on